Hello, and welcome to the MCF Gantt Pro installation video. In today's video, I'm going to walk you through the step-by-step process to install the MCF Gantt Pro in your Quickbase realm. Once you've decided you want to go with the Gantt Pro product, you simply click on either the Install Now or the free trial that will show here. If you've already installed the Gantt, then you're going to see Install Now. Otherwise, you will see the free trial button to choose from. You have multiple pricing tiers below that you can choose which one applies to you and your group. And then you have a short description, some key points and detailed overviews, as well as a product sheet and a demo and promotional video to explain further the product. Once I click Install Now, I'm going to see the series of prerequisites required for the Gantt. In this case, you are required to install from the Exchange the Gantt Pro application. This application in the Exchange contains all of the architecture and fields required for the Gantt Pro to work. I do want to reiterate that if you already have a pre-existing application that you're performing your project management in and you would like the Gantt Pro, please don't hesitate to contact us. This product can be retrofitted into your Gantt. You will still need the same structure and fields that are available on the Exchange. So you can still download the app and make sure that you have those same fields and relationships, or you're always more than welcome to contact us at MCFTECH for a pro installation. So you will see a contact us at the bottom of the page, as well as in, I believe, your plugin area. So we're going to go ahead and click Install Now. I'm going to go ahead and take this link. It's going to take me directly to the Exchange where this application can be found. You can also do a search by either looking for the category Project Management or search for Oasis inside of the Exchange, and you will find this Oasis Project Management Suite application. We have a brief description here as well with some images and a listing of all of the app tables. So I'm going to go ahead and click Get This App. And then you can choose what we want to call it. So I'm going to call this our Gantt Pro demo. And I'm going to create. You do have to have create rights in your realm to download an app from the Exchange. So if you don't, I do recommend reaching out to your realm admin to go ahead and give you those rights or have them set up the application for you. Once you have the application, you can see here across the top, I have all of my tables. It does have some sample project data that you're more than welcome to delete. I will, however, recommend that you keep anything in the calendars table, as this is required to run for the Gantt in the back end, as well as anything that you see in these back end tables. But anything from resource assignments forward, so contacts, projects, tasks, documents, resources, time cards, Gantt dependencies, resource assignments are all safe tables that you can go ahead and delete from right away from the get-go if you don't want to start with the sample data. So now that I have my application, I'm going to go back into Oasis and I'm going to click Continue. And the first thing that it's going to do is ask me to set up a connection. So if you've not yet set up a connection in Oasis, there are videos, but I'm going to go ahead and walk you through doing one right now. So I'm going to click Create a New Connection. And here I'm going to name it. So we're going to call it, again, we'll call it our Gantt Pro Installation Demo. You can give it a description. This is helpful if you've got multiple connections that you're using, just to help you define which application and which products you're using it for. Here, you'll see that we have help bubbles along the way to help you kind of break down what you need to put in each of these places. The first thing that we're going to do is our application DBID. So for that, I'm going to go into my Quickbase app here. And from the home page, I'm going to take the last bit of the URL here after the DB. And this is going to be my app DBID. So I'm going to go back into Oasis and I'm going to insert that here. And then the next step is an app token. So for that, again, from the home page, I'm going to click the settings over here on the left. And then on the left-hand side at the bottom, there's an app properties. So I'm going to click into that. And then once we scroll down a bit, you'll see here under our security options that we have this Manage Application Token link. When I click on that, it's going to give me a link. We automatically included 2 application tokens. You're more than welcome to remove these and add your own. I'm going to go ahead and use this one up here, this first one. So I'm just going to copy that and paste it right into this app token. The next step is to do a user token. So for that, I'm going to go back to my Quickbase application that I downloaded from the Exchange. And on the right-hand side where it lists your name, you're going to click on the drop-down and you're going to go to this top link here called My Preferences. I'm going to go ahead and open this one in a new window so I don't lose the application I'm on. And I'm going to go over here to Manage User Tokens and click on this link. If you've not already created a user token, you can create one here at the top, or if you have an existing one, you can edit it and include the application that you want to use. I'll go ahead and show you setting up a new token. So we're going to name it first off. So I'm going to call this our Installation Gantt Pro, and you can give it a description. And then the next thing you have to do is you need to assign it to the application that you want it to be used in. So we're going to choose that installation demo that we just downloaded from the Exchange, and then we're going to save it. And you'll see here that my token was generated. So I'm just going to take that and copy it and paste that right here where it says user token. And then we have one more step and we're done with our configuration, and that's to enter the realm. So you'll see here again in the help text, it's going to show you which piece you want to take. But basically, it's going to be anything before that .quickbase.com. So if I go back into the application that I downloaded from the Exchange, you can see here that I'm going to want this MCFTECH, and I'm going to exclude anything from the HTTPS and then before the .quickbase.com. And we're going to go ahead and create that. So now we have a connection. I have quite a few in here, so just so I can find it, I'm going to go ahead and do a search. So I want to use this connection. And it's important that your connection is linked to the application where you want the plugin to go, or else it's not going to work. So I'm going to use this connection. And now we're on to the Gantt Pro configuration. So from here, because I've downloaded this application from the Exchange, all I need to do is match the tables up, and the fields themselves will default automatically. So if I select projects for the projects table, you'll see here that everything gets pre-populated based off of the fields that we're expecting to see out of the Exchange. So if you're doing a retrofit, and for example, I'm going to pick another table, and then I'm going to go back to the projects table, you're going to see that it's not pre-populated. So for this case, if you are doing a retrofit, you're going to want to go ahead and select all of these fields based off of the ID that you have. And you'll notice that in the dropdowns, they're going to give me the specific field types that I'm expecting. And as well, these little info bubbles here are going to explain to you what fields we're expecting to see. Now, if you accidentally did what I just did and you selected the wrong table, but you still want it to default, because you will notice that there's a lot of fields in each table that we need to default as I scroll down here. So if you've done that by accident, you can always go up here and refresh. And then again, select the tables that you want, and the fields will go ahead and pre-populate. So as long as you don't save it, you'll have that option, so you don't have to select these fields manually. The next one I'm going to go down to is my tasks table. So projects have tasks. So I will select that. Again, these fields will all pre-populate. After that, we have our dependencies. So this is how we set up our dependencies in Quickbase to support the structure we see in the Gantt to give us all of the different dependency types. Our finish to finish, start to finish, finish to start, and start to start. Next is our resources table. You'll also see if you are doing any kind of retrofit, in addition to having the Exchange application, which is going to go ahead and show you all the fields and structure we need. We do also give you a basic breakdown of what we're expecting to see as far as relationships go with these tables for the Gantt. Next is resource assignments. These are how we assign a resource to a task. Our next is our task segments, one of our backend Gantt fields and tables. We have our calendar table, again, another backend, so that we can set our weekday or 5-day weeks for tasks. We have our calendar days. Oops. There we go. And this defines which days of the month and the week are actually working or non-working. We have our time ranges table. This will allow you to set time ranges outside of your project plan, but still viewable across your tasks. We have our baseline dates table, so we can set our multiple baselines for a project. And then the last section we have is our personalized Gantt settings. So from here, you're going to want to select a title. This is what's going to show in the top left part of your Gantt. So we'll call it our Gantt Pro installation demo. And again, you can give it a nice description if you'd like. You can also choose a logo. By default, we provide the MCFTECH logo, but you are more than welcome to update it. You just need to make sure that your users who are going to be using the Gantt will have access to this URL to view. We also have some additional defaults here. So in the documentation, we'll define a little bit about what these do, but essentially if you want to set your default settings for a project before the Gantt is ever launched, this is how you would define what that looks like. So by default, we do not show baselines and we do not show the timeline functionality. And we do continue to show the rest, like the export to Excel button, the critical path functionality, progress lines. So all of these options are available. By default, we do the user manual save. And then you'll see here, default Gantt columns. We auto-populate this for you to show the sequence, WBS, task name, etc. But you do have the option to remove these and then add anything additional that you would like to do. So for example, maybe we're going to show our calendar and we'll add that to our default. So from here, I do a save and continue. And then we're going to go through the last step, and that is going to be our pricing and subscription. So I'm going to enter my subscription name. We'll call this our Gantt Pro installation. We're going to select our tier and billing frequency. So in this example, I'm going to choose tier 1 and I'm going to bill annually. If you have a promotional code, you would simply enter here and click apply. Then we agree to terms of service. If you would like to see those, you can simply click on this link here to see those populate. If you've already entered a payment profile, then you can skip ahead to submit. If you have not, you'd simply go through these steps. It's going to ask for your credit card and billing information. So I'm going to go ahead and submit. All right, and we're done. So the very last step here we have is the user guide manual that's available here, so you can download it directly. If I were to do that, we're going to see here, if I bring it up, we're going to have our user guide for the tool itself. This will take you through the functionality and what some of the features do, and kind of take you through step by step on how to use the Gantt. We also have a user guide video that's available. You can click the install launch plugin button here. This is going to be your important final last step. So clicking this is actually going to install the product in the Quickbase application. So we've installed the plugin. The next step is to actually install the Launch Gantt button in the projects table. So for that, we click install. And then if you'd like to see the new button in Quickbase, you simply click on this link here, and it's going to take me to our new Gantt field. You'll see it's populated out. I recommend, displaying as a button, and then you can choose colors as well that make sense for your application or for your business color schemes. And then we're going to give it a name as well. So we're going to call it Launch Gantt. And then you can choose whether or not it's default reportable. Now, if I exit my settings and I go to the projects table, I'm just going to go ahead and add that new field here. So we're going to use our Launch Gantt button. All right, and then from here, you're ready to go and use the product. So if I were to click Launch Gantt on this MCF Tech demo project here, we're going to go ahead and see our launching screen, and then the Gantt is going to populate. And this should include all of the task data that came over from Quickbase. So thank you very much. Again, if you do have any further questions outside of this video, do not hesitate to contact us. We'll be more than happy to help you out with your installation. Thank you.